Hi, my name is Shu Hui, a postgrad student from Tunku Rahman University College under the supervision of Dr. Pang Sok Wai. My title for today is The Effects of Morphology on Electrical Conductivity of Polyaniline Photocatalyst. So here is the outline of my presentation today. I will start with the introductions. Polymers have been known as insulating materials and are often used to insulate cables and electrical devices. But there are also a number of polymers are electrically conductive, which are known as intrinsically conducting polymers. The electrical conductivity of this polymer is based on the presence of conjugated double bonds along the polymer backbone. It's not like traditional polymer. This polymer exhibit high electrical conductivity and can act as semiconductors. It also has various advantages than the metals as it is lighter in weight and corrosion resistant. So among the conducting polymers, polyaniline is one of the most studied polymers. And the reason why polyaniline is widely studied and also widely used in field industry because it can exhibit various oxidation states with different color, and the reaction is actually reversible. Polyaniline can be synthesized through the chemical oxidative polymerization by using the low-cost aniline monomer, and it also has a very low band gap which can utilize the visible light. It also has other properties such as good thermal stability, low toxicity, high electrical conductivity, and environmental stability. And this is my research design. Because in recent years, water pollution is getting serious due to the growing of dye industry. Approximately 15 to 50% of applied azo dye do not bind to the fabric during the process, and then it will release as a wastewater without any treatment. And these toxic dyes will cause a very serious water source contamination. And the human exposure to the toxic dye can cause a variety of adverse health outcomes. So the wastewater treatment actually has gained the attention of the public. By using the photodegradation method, it is able to remove the high stability and non-biodegradable organic dye, and it uses the incident radiations such as UV and visible light to activate the photocatalyst in order to generate radical molecules. The photo-generated radical molecules will degrade the organic dye to the non-toxic carbon dioxide and water. And polyaniline will act as the semiconductor catalyst as it can utilize under visible light because of its low band gap. And with different morphologies of polyaniline, it is expected to exhibit different electrical conductivity. And with high electrical conductivity of polyaniline, it can enhance the mobility of the electrons and then delay the electron-hole recombinations and can generate more radicals, which consequently will improve the photocatalytic degradations of the dye. So the research design here is to synthesize a polyaniline photocatalyst with different morphology and to investigate the effects of morphology on electrical conductivity. There are various morphologies of polyaniline can be formed by varying the synthesis parameter, such as the use of dopants, the molar ratios of dopants, and the polymerization time and temperature also play a role in modifying the morphology as well. Okay, there are 5 morphologies has been synthesized in this research, which are polyaniline nanotubes, nanosphere, nanofiber, star, and leaf micro nanostructure. Next, as my research objective. My objective is to synthesize the polyaniline with different synthesis parameters to form different morphologies and to characterize the polyaniline through FTIR, UV-Vis, FESEM, and resistivity meter. To investigate the effects of polyaniline morphology on the electrical conductivity is also one of my objectives. Okay, now we'll proceed to the overview of my methodologies. I will start with the synthesis part. So a series of polyaniline photocatalysts with different morphology will be synthesized using the template-free method. Template-free method is selected because it is simple and inexpensive method, because it does not require any post-treatment for the template removal. So the polyaniline will be synthesized through the chemical oxidative polymerizations. The aniline will be used as a monomer. The ammonium persulfate APS will be used as an oxidant, and hexanoic acid is chosen to form polyaniline nanotubes and nanosphere morphology. And the polymerization process is synthesized in 0 degrees Celsius for 24 hours. After that, it can be filtered and washed with methanol and water to remove any impurities. And then it will dry in the oven for another 24 hours. Lastly, the sample can be collected in solid form. Different synthesis parameters such as dopants, the polymerization time and temperatures will be varied in order to form different morphologies. And the dopant chosen in this study is lithium trifate and hydrochloric acid. Next is the characterizations. The synthesis polyaniline will be characterized by FTIR to check the functional group, while the UV-vis is to check the conductive behavior of the polyaniline. And FESEM is to check the surface morphologies of the polyaniline, and the conductivity of the polyaniline will be determined by using the 4-point probe technique. Okay, now I will proceed to my result and discussions. For FTIR, all the polyaniline morphology including nanotubes, nanosphere, nanofiber, star and leaf micro-nanostructure show a similar peak. The strong band observed at the range of 1400 and 1500 wave number are attributed to the stretching of C-double-bond-C in the benzoic ring and C-double-bond-N stretching in the quinoid rings. So from the FTIR spectrum of the polyaniline, the existence of the band at around 1300 wave number indicated the C-N stretching of the secondary aromatic amine, while the broad peak at the range of 3200 wave number could be assigned to the NH stretching vibrations of the secondary amine in the polyaniline. And the peak reached at around 3000 wave number is indicate the stretching of CH3 and CH2 was present in all synthesized polyaniline. Okay, this is the UV spectra of the polyaniline with 5 different morphology. All the synthesized polyaniline show similar characteristic peak in the UV spectra. The absorption peak observed at the range of 350 to 380 nanometer in different morphologies is corresponded to the pi to anti-pi transitions of the benzoic rings, while the shoulder peak around 700 to 800 nanometer show the presence of the transitions of pi to polaron and the quinoid ring along the polyaniline backbone. These two bands observed in the UV spectra have confirmed that the polyaniline samples are in the conducting emeraldine salt phase. So next is the FESEM, which is one of the promising techniques to check the morphology of the sample. Okay, at the left-hand side, the formations of a polyaniline nanotube is occurred through the elongations of the aniline, while at the right-hand side is the polyaniline nanosphere, which form through the accretions. Next, this is the morphologies of polyaniline nanofiber. Next, at the left-hand side is the morphologies of the star micro-nanostructure, and the left-hand side is the leaf micro-nanostructures of polyaniline. Because this is our preliminary result and the magnification used is only 5000, so some of the images are not very clear. We will further study this by increasing the resolutions and magnifications to get a better result of this. Okay, next we'll proceed to the electrical conductivity. The electrical conductivity of polyaniline with different morphology is measured by using the 4-point probe technique, and all the powder polyaniline sample compressed into the disc-shaped pellet with a density of around 1. So from the graph, we can see that the nanotube polyaniline has the highest electrical conductivity among all the morphologies. This can be attributed to the long chain in the nanotube, which allow the charge to flow through the chains and subsequently enhance the electrical conductivity. While the polymer chain in the nanosphere has agglomerated to form a larger granulars. And for the star and leaf micro nanostructure, it actually has a relatively low electrical conductivity compared to those nanostructure polyaniline. It can be due to the lack of sufficiency on overlapping of pi orbitals. So in conclusion, let me sum up the points. Polyaniline with different morphology have been synthesized and characterized successfully. And nanotube polyaniline exhibit the highest electrical conductivity value among all the 5 morphologies. And different morphologies of polyaniline actually have a different value of electrical conductivity. Okay, here, this is the reference that I used to prepare these presentations. And also, I would like to thank to my supervisor, Dr. Pang, and my co-supervisor, Dr. John and Dr. Wan Jakri from the UN for guiding me and giving me advices, and my university, Tunku Rahman University College, and also the Ministry of Higher Education for the FRGS research grant. And that's all from me today. Thank you.